What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. It is the 6th day of April. Here we are sitting at about $438 with roughly 11 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay, guys? Yesterday we did pull back to about $420, just above there, 421, and this was the kind of upper limits of the target area that we assumed we'd drop to over the past week. Now, made that drop, not a lot of volume came in at all, and here we are recovering right now, exactly as foretold. The fact that there was no volume really added to the confidence levels that we would bounce back from here. And I wouldn't be surprised today, tomorrow, the next day coming back up. We're going to be moving back up to like 460 and probably even above there. So wouldn't be surprised if we return to the top end of this range. We just faked everybody out who's been watching the price for like the past month. Panic selling going on. Those who are not worthy of the ascension here dropping off. And then now the faithful will be rewarded. And I really am, as time goes on, I really am getting close to this idea, getting flirtatious with this idea that we might not stop here after all. We really might push further ahead. Like a move just like this, but to the upside, and it takes us above this point here. Which could imply that we really don't spend much time in that $500 zone at all. When we break through that threshold here, we might just teleport right up to this $600 price area and above. And if we see something like that, there's definitely strong implications there that we would continue moving higher to this $700 area, but we'll see. We'll see. That's a far ways away for now. Anyways, looking at the short-term stuff, looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Again, not a lot of volume came in. There was a solid little group of volume down here at the low, so there was probably some buying pressure going on. Looking at the 1 hour indicators, the RSI is in a strong position. Stochastics are bullish, and the MACD crossed above the zero. That is also bullish. All good things. Bitcoin's probably going to pull back a little bit to start off the day here, or I guess it's starting off the day for America, but really we're already over the halfway point of the day technically in the crypto charts. We might pull back a little bit and still continue to rally. We are very bullish in all of our indicators right now. We can afford a little pullback and then move up. So it doesn't have to be all one fell swoop. You know, here we kind of are finding resistance right there at prior support. That's the closing price. I could put it at the wick. Same thing, right? You're finding resistance at prior support. The wick here went to these closing prices. The closing price here went to these wicks. So however you want to look at it. But finding resistance there, pull back a little bit, see a relative bit of volatility here, relative retracement. We could go back down below 430 and still prevail. So it doesn't have to be this one fell swoop of a move. A movement back to this degree is not going to hurt us, okay? Looking at the 4 hour time frame. I mean, it kind of looks like a V-shaped recovery. If it is a V-shaped recovery, technically, I mean, we got 2 hours, 55 minutes left here. By the end of this 4 hour time frame, I would expect we flip back green. If we are pushing up higher, then we're not finding resistance here. We might move up to the top end of this range. Typically, with a V-shaped recovery, you move above where the V started, so that would actually call for a move that's around 450 before seeing any turbulence. You could go higher, you could, but probably we don't just move in one fell swoop up. I would bet if we don't find resistance here, we'd find resistance somewhere around $450, somewhere around there, and then see our retracement. It's either from here or from there, but we likely do see a retracement at some point. A slight retracement. The RSI has higher highs. We have lower highs in the price. It's hidden bearish divergence, but it's only confirmed with a red candle close. We have 3 hours left in this candle here. It's plenty of time. We're only down 0.3%. Plenty of time to come back and close green. The stochastics look bullish. The MACD is bearish overall, but we've just flipped green. I mean, there's some positive things going on. We really might be pushing up to 450. This V-shaped recovery thing could definitely be happening right now. It's a small V. It's not that big, but still. Daily time frame, RSI, higher lows, bouncing off the oversold area. You're not getting overbought, which is not encouraging. You are living below the 50, but we are turning the tide, right? You're getting oversold here, 2 iterations. one iteration here, no iterations here. The tide is slowly shifting to the upside. So maybe later this month, if not even sometime in May, we'll be sitting at these prices that are around $600 and beyond. I do expect that Bitcoin Cash will not just make one fell swoop of a move from here, but when we get above these highs here, whenever we get to that point, the breakout move will be faster. We're not going to puzzle piece our way up there. We're going to probably straight launch to these areas above these highs here, if not at least somewhere around 540, somewhere in that zone. But yeah, I think we look good. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. We can look at the weekly time frame because it is a new week here. Same areas where we found support since 2023 of May. So for the last like 3 years, the weekly RSI is exactly where we've been every time we found a low point. Every single time, right? This low point, that low point, these low points, all reflecting the low points here in the RSI. This low point here. Stochastics have been oversold for a little bit of time now. They can stay oversold for just as much or even 3 times as long as they've been oversold already. But I do think that we're going to come up soon, and that will mark the beginning of this next uptrend, however large it will be. I mean, we can look at this real quick. Hold on. I was ready to end the video, but let's just do this real quick. Okay, hold on. Right there, right there, right there, and then right here. Sure. Okay, so whenever we crossed up and the stochastics were coming up, the move that we got as a result, I want to say this is like 200%, 260%. Whenever we weren't oversold here, we crossed up, we did get a nice move as well, but this doesn't really meet the parameters of the situation we're in now, so I won't go for that. The MACD was also crossing above the zero here, something to note. We're at our low points here. Stochastics were coming out of the oversold zone, so from this low point to the high point, we went up 122%. RSI was down at these same levels. The MACD didn't cross yet above the zero, but whenever it did cross above the zero, that represented the majority of this 122% move. Same thing here. You weren't crossing up just yet. You crossed a little bit higher in the midst of this move. But your stochastics crossed back out of the oversold zone. Your RSI bounced from the same levels that we're at now, from a low point here to a high point there, and it was a little bit more meticulous and thought for. You moved up 161%. So 122, 61, 263%. Assuming this is the low, maybe we're off by about $10. I don't think it's going to hurt the percentage too much. But assuming that we see the minimum growth we've seen so far, I mean, calling for a price that's up to like $900 would be more appropriate in time. That doesn't mean that it has to happen this month of April, but by May or June, I could really see that happening. And then at that point, are we breaking out? I would think that we're breaking out of this overall. It could be a fake out. And I would genuinely believe that we're seeing much larger growth overall come into view here. Exciting times, exciting stuff, my friends. We just got to be patient. We got to be patient. I don't really have anything else to say. Bullish divergence on the weekly MACD. Nice to see with last week's close. Hit that like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.